Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
Oireachtas, the game is up. The pretense that this government values cross-party collaboration has been very clearly exposed as a sham. Given the chance to work with the opposition on Dáil reform, the government preferred the nuclear option, ramming through its undemocratic proposals on Dáil reform at the 11th hour. All to deliver a grubby little deal for Michael Lowry and his band of independents. And Taoiseach, I can't help it, it makes us wonder, it makes the public wonder, what exactly is it the leverage that Michael Lowry has on Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil that brings forth such commitments? But like all grubby little deals, that one too was done behind closed doors, and sure, we may never know the details. But Taoiseach, you made a commitment in this chamber. Both you and the Taoiseach gave a solemn commitment that you would work across the chamber collaboratively in relation to any Dáil reform. And that very, very clearly now lies in tatters. And who can forget other promises? 40,000 homes to be built before the election. We will enact the Occupied Territories Bill before the election. All gone. Nothing delivered. Just, I won't use the word lies, but it's hard to say otherwise. And no, well, I'll take it back. Another con trotted out just to give this idea of who you are to the public, and then what you do in private completely different. So very clearly, the opposition cannot trust this government. So Taoiseach, I want to talk to you about another issue. It's been very clearly flagged that you're going to bring forward a proposal to remove the triple lock. You're going to bring it to Cabinet next month. But whenever you're asked about that proposal, you talk in riddles. We know that you want to remove the requirement for peacekeeping missions to have a UN mandate. But we are totally in the dark about what you plan to replace it with. Yesterday, my colleague, Deputy Garry, asked you what these plans. You told her that these plans have been long in the making. So why can't we be provided with any clarity? So long in the making, what exactly is it you're looking to replace it with? Will it be a double lock? Will it be a single lock? Will the UN have any role in the process at all? These are very reasonable questions for something long in the making. I hope you can give us some clarity. Taoiseach, I'm not saying for a second that the UN is perfect. Far from it. But we all remember the horrors from which it was born out of. And therefore now is not the time to be removing ourselves from these institutions. We should be committing to building up. So let me ask you, if we remove ourselves from the UN and the triple lock in the UN, are you now saying that we go on NATO missions? Will it be EU-led missions? What exactly missions would you like to send our troops on that cannot be done under the triple lock as it presently stands? Taoiseach, I'd like some answers to these questions. Now, you said you'd want to work constructively across the House in relation to the triple lock. We are off to a very poor start with that regard, so we'll take it with a large pinch of salt, because trust has been broken. So, Taoiseach, I'd ask you not to speak in riddles in relation to the triple lock. What exactly is the proposal? And Taoiseach, one more time, I implore you, do not ram through these undemocratic proposals. We all know backbenchers have speaking time. The questions on promised legislation. There's ample opportunities for backbenchers to have their voices heard. The idea that changing the nature of democracy is actually unjust, it's unfair and it's unbecoming.
Thank you, Deputy.
Well, look, thanks, Deputy Gannon. Just firstly, I mean, ramming through, there's a lot of phrases being used here. Ramming through, I mean, this issue, you've been spending more time talking about speaking rights than any other issue in this Dáil. Anybody watching in at home doesn't believe this is rammed through. There have been dozens upon dozens upon dozens of hours of meeting in relation to this, and now it's time, you know what it's time to do? Make a decision and move on and get this place working, get the committee set up so we can actually get down to the granular detail of the Occupied Territories Bill at committee. That's where that granular level of detail happens, as you know, Ceann Comhairle, in committee hearings, and those committees we need to move and establish them. I really believe that. And the second phrase, which we can't just be thrown around here, is undemocratic. It is an absolute act of democracy that the people's representatives come in here and exercise their vote, talk or kneel. Sorry, this is the arrogance of you on this, that we've no mandate. We've no mandate. These people have a mandate. These people have a mandate. These people have a mandate. This idea, you've just shouted across the floor of the Dáil in case they missed it at home, no mandate. Ceann Comhairle, everybody has a mandate. And as you said in your letter yesterday, which I read, as you said, I'm entitled to speak, as you said in your letter yesterday, it is up to the members of this House, the democratically elected people of this Dáil, to decide the standing orders. And it is absolutely in line with democracy, after an election, for government and opposition to put forward amendments and then have a vote on the floor of the Dáil. That is what we intend to do. We're going to do it next week. We're going to respect the outcome of the Dáil Reform Committee yesterday and have a vote next week and move this place forward in terms of delivering for the people. On the issue of the triple lock, and I do want to engage constructively in this, genuinely, because we do need to get this right. And I had a good engagement, even though we don't share the view, I accept that, but I had a good engagement with Deputy Gibney on this yesterday, and I look forward to more good engagements across the House. But I do believe we need to amend the triple lock. We did make that clear in the last government. We did make it clear during the election campaign, and we've also made it very clear in the programme for government. There are a number of times already where the veto that the UN Security Council has, people like Putin sit on this, the veto that they have has stopped Irish peacekeeping troops, men and women of Oireachtas that I'm so proud of, participating. And there are examples that I gave yesterday. So, for example, the possibility of a veto emerged in 2022 in relation to the UN authorisation for Unifor Operation Althea in Bosnia-Herzegovina. In 1999, a permanent member of the UN Security Council vetoed the renewal of the United Nations Preventative Deployment Force. As a result, we weren't able to participate in the mission in relation to the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. More recently, in 2015, the EU established a security mission in the Mediterranean, helping refugees, known as Operation Sophia. This mission didn't have a UN mandate until 2016, and we couldn't participate. And also in organisations that we, and I think you, passionately believe in, like the Maritime Analysis Operations Centre on Narcotics, an international maritime intelligence centre supported by the EU. They requested a naval service ship. Ireland wanted to go. I'd say there was a political consensus around it, and we couldn't do it because there wasn't a UN mandate.
Thank you, Taoiseach. Deputy Gannon.
The facts speak for themselves. The government's credibility has been shattered. We spoke of mandate. Each of us stood before an electorate a mere 2 months ago. Had that electorate known that you'd be making grubby little deals that change the nature by which government would be able to correct their own homework, I doubt anybody would buy into that. And that's what we're talking about right here. But in relation to the triple lock, it is noticeable that, I don't think I can answer a simple question. So we asked for specifics. You will know very well that we hear a lot about UN Security Council vetoes. And the reality is that has actually only happened once. And it was more than 20 years ago. And the law was clarified in 2006 to help address that specific situation. It's in the Defence Amendment Act of 2006. But it has not stopped Irish peacekeepers from participating in missions. The UN needs reform. We should be working on that from within the inside, instead of abandoning it as a requirement. Taoiseach, I would ask you again, remove yourselves from this ridiculous policy of changing the nature of our parliamentary democracy. More importantly, be truthful with the Irish people about the triple lock and what exactly it is you plan to replace it with, because you didn't give me that answer.
Thank you, Deputy Gannon.
I do my best here. I was asked a question as to what missions could we not participate on. Well, let's check the transcript. But I heard you very clearly ask, where would you like to send people on missions? And I gave you. It's almost impossible. I'm just trying to answer the questions. I'm allowed to answer. Am I allowed to speak? Is that okay? I know you don't want them to speak, but am I allowed to speak?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to speak?
Taoiseach, please.
Thank you. I would really like to, Kim Corla. Because I've given you 4 examples, and nothing to do with 25 years ago, because last time I checked 2022 was 3 years ago. 2017 wasn't long ago, 2015 wasn't long ago, and 1999 wasn't long ago. But let the people at home know this. This government and I are in favour of military neutrality. What we're not in favour of is Vladimir Putin having a veto on where our peacekeepers can go. And we will bring the legislation to Cabinet. When that legislation is brought to Cabinet, it will be published, it will go to pre-legislative scrutiny, and if you start actually getting this place, get on with the job, we'll set up a committee, bring in experts, and let's engage at the committee.
All right.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.